watching Bengals Breakdown by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Stone Shields. Coming up on today's show, we're going to be taking a look at some early Bengals training camp winners and losers. Obviously, now we are in week 2 of Bengals training camp. Got the first preseason game certainly on the horizon, so I think now it's appropriate to kind of look at some guys that have been doing really well to this point and maybe some guys that have been struggling or perhaps guys that aren't participating. I think we all know who that is, so we're going to be breaking down some winners and losers on today's show. Just a heads up, I am doing some solo producing here on today's video, so if you see me look down, whatever the case may be, just trying to do multiple things here at once as we progress through today's show. But before we get into that, make sure you guys share today's video for me right now. I'm trying to get the word out there to more Bengals fans that aren't necessarily tapped in to what we are doing here at Bengals Breakdown. So help us out. Share today's video for me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. It works for us. Share today's video for me right now. All right, let's get into some of these winners. And this first one for me is pretty easy. That is Yoshi. Andrei Iosivas is a guy that really is having an incredible camp here to this point. And everybody, of course, talks about Shemar Chase and T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow in his press conference is like, hey, yeah, everyone knows I'm going to throw it to 1 and 5. But if this guy right here, Yoshi, can be a guy that continues to improve, boy, look out. I thought he was really impressive last year for Cincinnati in the slot. There were some plays where he's kind of running down the seam, makes the catch, takes a massive hit, right? He was a big guy that Joe Burrow went to in the red zone as well. And Joe Burrow also pointed out how much better he has gotten in the contested catch department as far as his receiver Yoshi goes. This is a guy that, of course, track background, right? Didn't play a ton of football, coming from an Ivy League school, right? The Bengals drafted him, didn't have a lot of football under his belt, and now he's going into his 3rd year here, and he's looking to really make an impact. I am super excited about Yoshi, and as a wide receiver 3 for Cincinnati, out there on the field with Chase and Higgins, look out. I think Yoshi can cause real issues for defenses next year, or excuse me, this coming season here in a couple of months. All right, TJ Slaton. Next up here on this list, you're starting to see more love be given to TJ Slaton of late. I've been on the Slaton bandwagon ever since Cincinnati signed him in free agency, right? I think he's going to do a tremendous job of clogging up that middle. Only had the 1 sack last year for Green Bay, but he's back working with Jerry Montgomery. I think he's going to be a guy that can add kind of a pass rush for you from an interior perspective, and he's a huge guy. He's going to be a big run stopper for you as well, and I think he also can help mentor guys like McKinley Jackson and Chris Jenkins Jr., who are both going now into year 2 and really need to make big steps for Cincinnati. You heard Burrow talk about TJ Slaton, the energy that he brings to the defense, his toughness, his size, of course, and his football acumen as well, and I think TJ Slaton's really going to surprise some people. I think a lot of people were banging on Sheldon Rankins. I think we all now kind of feel bad considering the information that has come out, all the things that he was going through. Regardless, on the football field, clearly didn't work out for Sheldon Rankins. So the Bengals are still trying to find that guy to replace DJ Reader. Swung and missed with Rankins. Another opportunity here with TJ Slaton. I think he's going to do good things for this Bengals team in 2025. Name a Bengals training camp winner so far. Obviously, we still have lots of the program to get through. Of course, the entirety of the preseason here at this point, and this list very well could change. But so far, give me a Bengals training camp winner in the comments section of today's show. Next up, Jermaine Burton, right? We've talked a lot about Jermaine Burton here on the show, right? A guy that had pretty much about as disastrous of a rookie year as you could possibly imagine last year for Cincinnati. And I think a lot of organizations maybe would have cut ties with Burton after his rookie campaign, but Cincinnati, stern words certainly from Zach Taylor and Duke Tobin, but they're going to give him another shot, and it appears as though he's taking it in stride. Even just when you hear him talk to members of the media, he seems like a changed guy. I remember hearing him talk as a rookie thinking, my goodness, this kid is just a piece of work, and now he seems a lot more mature, right? Cut his hair, hanging out with guys like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, getting mentored. Now you're hearing Joe Burrow speak a little bit more highly of him. His ability on the football field has always been there. His toughness has always been there as well, but it's just been some, of course, off-the-field stuff, some emotional stuff, some immature stuff that has held him back. Even in training camp, there's a clip of him running around doing routes, and he's got literally a bath towel tucked in, which is hilarious to see, but at the same time, you're like, yep, only Jermaine Burton would do something like that. But if that's the biggest concern that he's causing, that is totally okay with me. But Burton certainly opening some eyes. In this receiver room, man, my goodness, you got dogs all over the place. If Burton can be a guy that you can count on, look out. Myles Murphy, also another winner that I want to discuss here on today's show. He's making his presence felt. Joe Burrow spent some time talking about him at his press conference, right? Myles Murphy has a couple of sacks, kind of an hour never season with Myles Murphy. And Al Golden, the new defensive coordinator, has not shied away from that by any stretch of the imagination. He understands that it's now or never for Myles Murphy, and apparently he's making an impact. And apparently the edge rushers have been doing a tremendous job in camp. Now, granted, they're going against the Bengals offensive line that might not necessarily be the best, despite the fact they got some great players on their offensive line. We'll talk about them a little bit later on in today's show. But, Size, another guy that's gotten some love. We're not going to talk about him on today's show. But Murphy's a guy that is opening some eyes. And I think if he certainly can have a few sacks and look like a guy that was taken in the first round, that could spell good things for Cincinnati defensively as well. And this guy right here is quickly becoming one of my favorite players defensively. Josh Newton seems like he's got all the tools that he needs to be successful. Clearly cares and loves about football and his teammates as well, and he continues to open eyes, and he continues to get reps with the ones out there at cornerback. He also picked off Joe Burrow on 7-on-7s a couple of days ago, and Burrow said 7-on-7 interceptions he's not really worried about, right? He's going to try to fit it in, be aggressive, but said it was a great play by Newton. He's got great ball skills, of course, fifth-round pick last year. Out of TCU for Cincinnati, and we'll see if he ultimately ends up being a starter for this team. But I've been really impressed with what I've seen and read about Josh Newton here to this point. Continue with some losers here in a second, but do want to give a shout-out to our friends over at Fanatics. Let you guys know that these Bengals T-shirt hoodies are out. They are on sale. You can go get them. I think it's probably the best thing that you could wear to training camp because they're light. They're short sleeve. They also got the hood that you can throw on and perhaps shield you from the sun as well. Best part about them, they're on sale over at Fanatics. Go check them out. We'll put that link in the comment section and the description of today's show. One more time for you guys, chatsports.com/Bengals Hoodie T-Shirt / Have winners, have to have losers. That's just kind of how these videos go. And obviously this is the obvious one at the very top, and that is Trey Hendrickson. Hendrickson, of course, is back with the team. As of filming, he's not practicing because there is no deal. And by the time this video comes out, I do not suspect that there will be a deal for Trey Hendrickson, but hard to put him in any other category when he's not practicing with the team. Hopefully it gets done. We've done videos in the past kind of detailing what is the holdup here at this point. Schefter predicts that it will be a 3-year deal, but the guarantees in year 2 are what's holding this back. Ultimately, we will see how this thing gets resolved. But now when Joe Burrow talks about him, I do think this is interesting. A couple of weeks ago when Joe Burrow would talk, it would be kind of hopefully, we get 91 back or, if he's with us this year. Now it's like when he's with us is kind of how Joe Burrow is talking. So that tells me it's going to get done, just a matter of when and how, much longer it goes, I guess. But Hendrickson, you got to put him in the loser category here because ultimately he is not practicing. Now this one might get a little bit of pushback because this guy is still practicing and he's making his presence felt, but I still have Shemar Stewart at that loser spot. You hear about, some of the things about Shemar Stewart. He's made some good plays. He's got a couple of PBUs, right? But Paul Dehner Jr. was talking on the Mo Egger show and basically was like, basically after every rep, he needs a coaching point, and that's totally fine. He's a rookie. That's going to happen, right? But maybe that could have gotten cleared up a little bit if you had been at some of the mandatory stuff this offseason. But instead, you listened to your agent, Zach Hiller, and Hiller clearly did not want you to participate as you were trying to get that language worked out of your deal. So because of that, I have Stewart still in this loser category. He will be brought over to the winners category the next time we do this video here at the channel. But look, Shemar Stewart still getting up to speed. For now, he's in the loser category, but I'm optimistic that good things will come for Shemar Stewart. A little bit worried here with DJ Turner II. The Bengals have made some big plays offensively, and seemingly a lot of them have been at the expense of DJ Turner II. This was a guy kind of coming into camp last year where it was like he was expected to be that second corner opposite CTB, but there was a competition between Dax Hill and DJ Turner II, and very quickly Dax Hill won that battle. And DJ Turner was not playing. He obviously got thrust into duty. It was a struggle, and then he started to turn the corner and started to play the best football of his career, and then he suffers the broken clavicle on Sunday Night Football against the Los Angeles Chargers. So we'll see. But Newton's getting more of the reps with the ones. Second-year guy, obviously you took Turner a couple of rounds earlier, right? He was a second-round pick out of Michigan, and I don't know if things necessarily have panned out the way you had hoped when you're talking about DJ Turner II. So got him in the loser category. He's going to get called upon this year. We know that, and we'll see if he's up for the task. But for now, a bit of a rough start to training camp for DJ Turner II. Also, have this guy here, Cordell Volson, that I want to talk about on today's show. The reason why I have him in this category is because he, to this point, to my knowledge, has not gained any reps with the ones. He's all been stuff with the twos, and that tells me that Cincinnati is going to cut Cordell Volson because they don't want to pay him that money, besides, of course, what they already owe him. And it kind of just feels like things are heading in that direction right now. This is a guy that has started for you a ton, and now he can't even get some reps with the ones, and you're giving him all at the right guard spot to Cody Ford, and at the left guard spot to your rookie Dylan Fairchild. I get wanting to go with Fairchild at left guard. Why not give Volson some reps over at right guard? I know it's not a position he's played, but it's still a guard spot. I think he would be okay over there, and I would like to see him run with the ones there, but apparently that's something we haven't seen to this point in training camp so far. And do want to go back to Shemar Stewart here for a second for another opportunity for you guys to get involved with our show here at Bengals Breakdown. What do you think? Over or under 4.5 sacks for Shemar Stewart this season? Let me know in the comment section. Where did I get that number, you might ask? Well, he had 4.5 during his time at Texas A&M. That is the big number everybody talks about when discussing Shemar Stewart. So let me know. Is he going to eclipse that mark in his rookie year? And also, while you're down there, we've already worked through our 4 losers here. If you want to also name a Bengals training camp loser, you can do that as well in the comment section right now. Before we get out of here, let's get to some more winners, right? Only talked about 5 kind of to start out today's show, but there's more winners to discuss. Joe Burrow says it's the best he's felt in the training camp. He's looked really stinking good, really fired up about him. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, of course, are doing their thing, and Chase Brown. Those 4 guys there on the left, they are the main guys of your offense. They are your skill guys, and they've done tremendous jobs thus far in training camp. People have been really pleased with Demetrius Knight Jr. as well, your second-round pick out of South Carolina. Jordan Battle is certainly talking a lot, and you've seen him break up some passes that have been intended for Jamar Chase out of the hand of Joe Burrow, so he's out there making plays as well. Amarius Mims, I absolutely love this guy when you're talking about Amarius Mims. I think he is going to be amazing for years to come. I think eventually he will rotate over and be the left tackle after Orlando Brown Jr. is done playing. He's absolutely stonewalling guys in camp. And also Evan McPherson has been very positive as well as he's making all of his kicks, showing off that range as well. And, of course, McPherson really needs a bounce-back season for Cincinnati in 2025 at that kicker spot.